Hello, I'd like to welcome you retards and screwheads to the latest edition of my show. And welcome, right? I forget the name of my show. Oh, yeah, it's called News of the Day. And that's when we take stories that are running through the news cycle. We talk about them. Well, I talk about them. You listen, hopefully, without clicking off. And then I put a biblical slant on them. All right, so let's get started, shall we? The first story is this Caitlin Clark who got left off the Olympic basketball, the women's basketball team. Now let me tell you people something. I don't watch women's basketball. I don't believe in it. Fundamentally, I don't believe in it. I think that women should be in the kitchen making their husbands and boyfriends a sandwich and not out on the basketball court dribbling the ball and shooting layups or three-pointers. That's just me. I'm not saying you have to be like that. That's just me. But I will say this. Caitlin Clark is the most popular woman who's ever gone into the WNBA, and she's not getting treated right. And leaving her off the Olympic team is just a giant slap in the face. It's just, I can't understand it. Well, I do understand it. I'm going to tell you what's behind it. It's this. The WNBA and the ladies on that association hate white girls. And they especially hate white girls who are straight. And I don't know how long Caitlin Clark is going to last in this league. I doubt if she makes it 3 years before she says, I've had enough of this. The only hope she would have is if she painted her hair pink and became homosexual. Then they might accept her. She's got the pink hair and she's a homosexual, just like that crazy soccer player Megan Rapinoe or whatever the heck her name was. That's the only way she'll be accepted. And you say, why is that? Well, a lot of black folk don't like white people. I mean, it's as simple as that. I graduated from a school that was majority black, like I told you before. Trust me, a lot of them just don't like you, and maybe they're right. I have no idea. I have no clue, but they just don't like you. And another thing is that this is being promoted by our government. You say, now why would the government promote the hatred of white folk? And they do it because there is a war against the middle class and the working class. And all the money's going to the elites. And pretty soon there will be no middle class. You'll have working poor and you'll have elites, just like in places like Bangladesh, all right? And in order to accomplish this, they need to convince you that you're worthless, that you deserve everything you're going to get in the future, right? So when you're sitting there and you're poor and you're, having, like half of America, I just saw this stunning statistic, half of America doesn't have $500 in the bank if there's an emergency, right? Yeah, think about that. $500 for an emergency. I'm dirt poor and I can scrape up $500 for an emergency. Anyway, but that's the reason. As the middle class keeps dwindling, and you have a feudal neo-feudalism, new feudalism, then the victims will say to themselves, boy, I really deserve this because of my race, and I've done so much, and I'm a former imperialist, and I've taken the Indians' land, and I'm a slaver, and I'm a this, and I'm a that, even though all this happened years and years and years and decades and centuries and multi-centuries ago. And it's a psychological game, getting you prepared for your poverty. I'm telling you straight out, that's what it is. But what do I know, right? Second story. After that big rant, I can't remember the second. Oh, now I remember the second story. I was going to talk about this war in Israel. I'm going to tell you, there are a lot of Jew haters out there. And they're putting down Netanyahu. And it's pointless. I'm going to tell you why it's pointless. Why this war is raging. It's the work of God. Right? And you can hate the Jews as much as you want to, but God made promises to the Jews in the Old Testament, and he made promises to Israel in the New Testament. That's why on the plaque above Jesus' head it said, King of the, fill in the blank, King of the, fill in the blank, King of the Jews. Big promises were made by God, and God keeps his promises. And Israel has come back alive, and it started in 1948. And you can love Netanyahu, you can hate Begin, blah, blah, blah. You can hate them all. But God's going to get what he wants. And he obviously wants Israel to exist. And it's as simple as that. And my thing is, I'm not going to watch, as I said in previous videos, go back to what God said to Abraham when he made the promise. Abraham, I'm going to make you into a great nation, and I'm going to bless those who bless you and curse those who curse you. So my final thing on this whole issue is, be careful who you curse. Be really careful. And I'm just bringing this subject up again because they found some hostages, right? And one of the guys who got rescued, his dad died of heartbreak just a few hours before the guy arrived. It's crazy. Anyway, I'm with Israel because God's with Israel. And I think it's best to stand with God, right? I'm not going to rebel against God. So I'm with you, Israel, because that's what God told me to say. All right. The last story is Trump. He went to California and Las Vegas. Nevada, I should say. Well, it was Las Vegas. And he's getting huge crowds everywhere. Huge crowds. And he's doing a magnificent job out there. He's ahead in all of the battleground states, I think, except for Wisconsin. He's dead even in Virginia, which isn't even considered a battleground state. But here's the bad news. He's got no chance. He will not win this thing. I like this speech in Vegas because he told all the guys and girls, the ladies and gentlemen, look, I know you guys live on tips. And that's when I first get into office. First thing I'm going to do is make it so the IRS can't tax your tips. And since I'm an old geezer who's probably going to go back to America and get a job in the Waffle House, and that's good news for me too. I won't have to declare my tips if Trump gets in. But he's never getting in. It's a done deal. It's over. He's not getting in. They'll kill him before they let him in. But first, what's going to happen is they're going to go to the Democratic convention. And if Biden's still losing, I think they'll push him out and bring in Michelle Obama. And then if of course, Trump will have to spend some time in jail, Rikers Island, until a federal appeals comes through, right? It's going to be a long slog until November. But if he's still winning, come October, beginning of October, I'm expecting a big accident. Oh, like I said before, man, the plane went down or he hanged himself in prison. I'm expecting something like that. I hate to say that. I just don't have a lot of faith in the people who run my country. I think they're a bunch of psychopaths. Anyway, I'm almost at 10 minutes. So I'm going to go because I don't like to go over 10 minutes. But I want to wish all of you a great day. Right now it's in your neck of the woods. I'm guessing you're in America. You're probably about 5 in the morning. I wish you a great day. And God bless you. Bye-bye.